WDTN, the station that's working for you. This is 2 News Now.
Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me here on 2 News Now on this. I think I've used this before, but it's fitting. On this magical Monday, of course. I am your host, Alexis Bellamy. Today is a Monday, February 2nd, and I'm joined by 2 News traffic anchor Lee Jeffries. Lee, good morning.
Good morning. It's the first one of February.
It's the first one of February. And I don't know how we keep doing this, Lee, but we are
matching.
We're in blues, both of us. It is totally an accident, but we're starting off well on the right foot. We're going to get right into your top stories for this morning. And we have a bit of an update for you. Listen to this. William Brock, that was the man who was found guilty of killing an Uber driver. He was just sentenced. We learned that he received 21 years to life in a Clark County courtroom earlier this morning. Now, sentencing was actually supposed to happen on Friday, but there was a delay after someone on Brock's legal team experienced what we are only describing or can only be called a medical episode. Now, Brock has tried to get a new trial or acquittal, but as we know, that was overruled by a judge.
In your next story, Governor Mike DeWine says he is working with state and local officials as they prepare for ICE in Ohio. Republican leaders say the expiration date has been public knowledge for more than a year and that those covered by it had the opportunity to leave the country voluntarily. This comes as temporary protective status is set to expire tomorrow. Governor DeWine says he expects any federal agents in Ohio to follow proper police procedures and that the Ohio State Highway Patrol will coordinate with local law enforcement as they keep people safe.
And we know that suspects are still on the run following an alleged armed robbery and a high-speed chase involving multiple agencies. Authorities say a group of people actually stole a car at gunpoint around 11:15 in Trotwood, and that happened on Saturday night. Franklin police say they saw the car several hours later, but it took off, which started to that chase on I-75 northbound. During the chase, a Franklin police cruiser lost control, hit a snowbank, and then was hit by an OSP cruiser. There was really a lot going on in this chase, you guys. Those involved in the crash are expected to be okay, and authorities say they later found that stolen car abandoned on Webster Street in Dayton. So we're not sure what other developments we can be expecting from this story, you guys, but we'll make sure to share them with you as we get them.
And then the U.S. Air Force Museum is temporarily closed because of the lapse in federal funding. The closure began on Saturday, and this is going to continue until funds become available. The Department of Defense also needs to allow the museum to continue operations and to find a full list of closures and reopenings surrounding Fairborn. Go to our website, WDTN.com.
And we are switching gears just a little bit more about today, the actual day that is today, Lee, if that makes sense to you as a person.
Special day.
Special day. Today is Groundhog Day. How exciting, you guys. And while most of the country was watching Punxsutawney Phil, we have our eye on our own little Buckeye Chuck, you guys. Both groundhogs made their predictions earlier this morning. So Buckeye Chuck made his prediction at the Marion County Fairgrounds and predicted, drum roll please, if you don't know already, he did predict an early spring after not seeing his shadow, which is what we, which is what we want, exactly. So he actually has a 55% accuracy rating, which is above Punxsutawney Phil's accuracy rating, which is just at 35%. So that's like a 20% difference in accuracy there. That's really interesting. So Punxsutawney Phil made his prediction of 6 more weeks of winter after seeing his shadow. So now we have both. That's really interesting. Okay, we have spring is coming, and now we have 6 more weeks of winter. But interesting enough, we're going to go now to the one person who could probably tell us. He probably can't say for sure, but he can tell us exactly how it's going to feel outside. If we're going to be dealing with some spring-like temperatures, or if we're staying in the Game of Thrones winter. Cameron, good morning to you.
Well, winter is going to be continuing here as we go through the daytime and as we go through the next week. We're going to see temperatures only get up to about 35 degrees for highs here as we go through the next week. So we're looking at cold weather and also some warmer days outside. And, of course, we have the cloud cover this morning. That's why Buckeye Chuck didn't see his shadow. There in Pennsylvania, though, the sun was out. They're going to see cloud cover later today. So if Punxsutawney Phil did the forecast in the evening, and then they would predict the same as what Buckeye Chuck did here this morning, because they're going to see cloud cover later there today. Outside, though, cloudy, and you can see that it is, for the most part, in downtown Dayton dry, but we did have some snow showers in the morning hours. Visibility for the most part pretty good. 7.8 in Salina, 7 in Wapakoneta. Everywhere else right around 8 to 10 miles of visibility. Temperatures this morning right around our highs from yesterday. 18 degrees in Dayton, 21 Fairborn, 20 in Union City. And most of the snow is actually moving out of here as we go into the 11 a.m. hour. We're going to see the chance of some isolated snow showers in the afternoon, but not looking at really anything for accumulation. We are tracking the chance, though, of some snow as we go into your Tuesday. We could see some of that drop some accumulations. Very light, though. We're not expecting what we did last Sunday. I'll have that, though, coming up on the Complete Storm Team 2 forecast.
And of course, we saw, I'm not sure if anyone else saw, but some snow showers over the weekend too. They weren't too bad though. They didn't stick. I'm sure though some people probably got what's the word I want to use? Like gun shy at seeing the snow come after what we just saw a couple of weekends ago, Cameron.
I mean, yeah, it's winter though, so
so that means it's gonna snow. Just be prepared for more snow.
I mean, yeah, it's Ohio winter. That's the fun beauty about it.
That's what we're up against. All right, we'll check back in with you in just a few minutes, Cameron. Thank you.
Turning to Washington now, right now the government is partially on shutdown. This has started on Friday when the Senate passed legislation that would fund the government through September. It does not include the Department of Homeland Security. DHS will be temporarily funded for 2 weeks as lawmakers negotiate reforms to immigration enforcement. The House was not in session, which is what led to the partial shutdown, but they will return to consider the legislation today, and the shutdown is expected to have little impact if it is short.
And that brings us to a look at our react to that question for this morning. Your time now is 11:06. You guys, I have a question. I want to know what you think the best tech invention of the 21st century is, right? I mean, there's so many to think of. Now, Lee, I did give you a little bit of a preview, and I gave you some time to think. So, did you think?
I know, because that's a hard question.
I think so. There's so many. And I know this what we're looking at right now is probably, not that it's a bad answer, but this is probably everyone's go-to. Lee, is this yours?
I would say, because I feel like everything else just kind of built off the smartphone. So.
Really? I don't know.
What would you say?
If I had to think, I've actually thought about a couple. I've gone back and forth, but I will save my definitive one for maybe a little bit later in the show because I'm still kind of knocking them out. But to answer your question, I had about 3 finals, and they're all random things. Not random, but they're things they're not the big things. You'd be like, oh, okay, that is something that we take for granted, So that's what the point of this question was, to really get people open and just thinking about things. But
I'm excited now to hear yours.
Right, thank you. But we want to hear you guys' too. So scan the QR code, make sure to get in on the conversation. Let us know how your brain is working. What do you guys think the best tech invention of the 21st century is? But for now, we're moving forward. We're going to look to our day ahead. This is something we've been talking about a lot lately. It was one of our top stories. TPS is coming to an end here in a few hours, happening tomorrow, which impacts countless migrants right here in our own country. But of course, we're localizing that and looking how it's going to shape us and impact us here at home. So this morning, 2 News reporter Kayla Ferris is in Springfield, and she's going to figure out exactly how that TPS ending and coming to a close is hitting us here at home. Kayla, what is happening today? You're waiting for something to go down a little bit later, right?
Hi there.
To use the bathroom?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
We've got her live at a store, so she is busy.
Stop by, yes. Because I am in Springfield, and more specifically, I am at St. John Missionary Baptist Church, and I had to step into another room because it is so loud out in the hallway. Wow. Alexis and Lee, the fire marshal had to come twice. Springfield Mayor Rob Rue came in because there were so many people here. I think the capacity in the sanctuary was 750. We were way past that. Springfield Mayor Rob Rue had to ask 150 people to leave. So we almost hit, I think we might have hit maybe 1,000 people who are here in this church, all just in the name of asking quite frankly, the president, just to change that temporary, not even to change the temporary protective status, but just to extend it a little bit longer. They say specifically for our Haitian neighbors that it's just not safe for them to return to Haiti right now. There's a lot that's going on there. And even some of the speakers today were talking about when you just fly into Haiti, there are militias and gang members waiting there at the airport for them when they come. So they're like, it's not even safe to fly into Haiti, let alone live there. That's what some of the people who are on temporary protective status were saying today during this event. So there's been a lot of speakers, a lot of people of faith leaders from different parts of the country. We had people from Miami, Florida. We had people from different parts of Ohio, from Cincinnati, from Columbus. There's been people from all over the U.S. Who are here today speaking on behalf of these Haitian migrants.
So, Kayla, when did this meeting start? And I know you said tensions are high, or I guess emotions are high, really. But what is, if there is an expected outcome from this meeting today?
So yes, emotions are very high. I've been here bright and early since 9 a.m.
Wow.
Was when it started, and it's just been going. We're about 2 hours in now. There's been singing, there's been speakers. But I think the real outcome for today, what we're actually waiting on, is something that I spoke about last week on Wednesday, which is there's a lawsuit against the Trump administration with the Department of Homeland Security's decision. And in a nutshell, they're asking for temporary protective status to be extended, like everyone else here is. But there's a class action lawsuit. It's called Miet v. Trump. And they're awaiting an answer from federal judge Anna Reyes today. So that decision could come either in the next couple of hours.
Right.
It could come at 10 o'clock tonight. We really don't know, but she is going to either rule in favor of the people who are on TPS, who are the plaintiffs, or she is going to rule in favor with the Trump administration. We don't know, but once we find out, of course, we will update you. I will be live here at 4, 5, and 6 in our evening shows, giving you updates on what I'm seeing, hearing, and letting you hear from the people who are here. Because like I said, it is a packed house. There are tons of people here in support of these Haitian migrants.
Kayla, thank you so much for sharing what you can and what you know so far with us. And this is, like I said, developing doesn't really, cover this very well. Very important, very high stakes. We'll keep our eye on this and look, like you said, for more from you today at 4 o'clock. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next up, on Saturday, the Miami University Redhawks put up their 22nd straight win of the season, beating the Northern Illinois Huskies with a score of 85-61. With the win, Miami set the Mid-American Conference record for the largest win streak in conference history to start a season. Right now, nationwide, only Miami and Arizona remain as the two lone undefeated teams in Division I men's basketball. Miami now has just 9 games left in the regular season in its quest to finish out with a perfect season. So their next game will be on Tuesday night in a rematch against the Buffalo Bulls, who Miami actually notched a win against in a 105-102 overtime thriller just 2 weeks ago. So that'll be a really good game.
Kayla, those were some big numbers that you were putting up. This is a really long
high
streak.
Scoring.
And again, I can't remember. Are you a sports girly too? Are you big into
Yes,
sports?
I have not been keeping up with Miami, though.
I was about to say, I'm not, but I understood the importance of this. So I understand that this was super huge. So congratulations to them in the sporting world. Okay, coming a little bit closer to home now, the city of Kettering will be actually moving forward with the demolition project at a local shopping center. Listen to this. The Wilmington Heights Shopping Center will have multiple buildings demolished, and that's all in order to be in compliance with the city's property maintenance code. The contract with App Architecture will focus on mostly vacant buildings in the shopping center. The project is expected to cost nearly $80,000. So we'll see exactly what comes from that as this moves forward. Your time now is 11:14 or almost 11:14 rather. We are going to take a quick break, but when we get back, we are giving you a longer look at what is happening in weather and how the weekend went, what you guys did, and some of the activities. We'll be right back.
2 News Now, brought to you by Universal Windows Direct.
Hi, I'm Dan, the owner of Universal Windows Direct of Dayton. This is Bowie. He's been sniffing out the coolest winter deals for you. For a limited time, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Get $250 off for patio doors and entry doors, $1,500 off for roofing, and $2,000 off for siding. Plus this week, 24 months interest-free financing for all products. Keep the cold out and the savings in. Give us a call now.
Universal Windows Direct.
Welcome back, everybody. Returning with, oh my goodness, a very brief, well, brief because we don't have a lot of days left, but the countdown to the 2026 Winter Olympics. You guys, can you believe it? Oh, and there's our city. There's the beautiful host city of Milan. Isn't it beautiful? Yes, there is also grass, but I just love this shot. I really can't imagine what the energy must be like, there in the city as they're getting ready, and they absolutely are. So in the Olympic cam, guys, right now, Friday, just 4 days away. That's when the Ultimate Sporting Challenge will start. That's when we can expect the 2026 Winter Olympics, better known as Milano Cortina Games. And they kick off on February 6th. They'll last until the 22nd. And when the time does finally roll around, you can watch them on WDTN. And we've already said we're all just super excited for it. We had a big meeting about, the Olympics and, how we're going to be covering this. So make sure you guys tune in. Pick a sport. Alrighty, before we get into weather, take a look at this. Lee, I won't take this from you like I usually do.
I know. Well, we had that great interview last week with Five Rivers Metro
Exactly.
Parks, and that is because consistent winter conditions this year made it so that the ice on Cedar Lake was actually thick enough for them to cut it. And so they had their ice cutting demonstration, which represented how farmers harvested and stored ice in the 1880s when it was not readily available. And then the Carriage Hill Park manager says the day taught an important lesson. That was so cool.
I just love seeing this, and I'm happy they had some people come out. Like people were actually
despite
there.
the cold.
Yeah, despite the cold. But it is always nice when these frigid, freezing temperatures can give you actually, something to do and be a part of.
Yes.
I really cannot stop watching. If I could have, I probably would have gone out there. We're literally just cutting into like frozen ice, and they have said it has to be like very thick, like multiple feet of thickness to do this. So that's always interesting. Happy that looked nice. Alrighty, so Cameron, before we get into your weather, you have to react to that question for today. Tell us about your 21st century tech invention. What is it?
Could the internet be one?
I won't accept that actually, no.
Okay, probably my smartphone.
Okay, a smartphone is acceptable. Come on, you guys.
I mean, I could invest on my smartphone. I could do basically anything.
No, sure you can,
Except
for and change the weather.
Yeah, I cannot change the weather, but those weather apps do all the time because they're based on those models. So the weather apps probably not the best or most accurate because they change all the time as they're based on a certain model. But outside here in the Miami Valley, we have been tracking some light snow into the morning hours. That's going to continue to wind down as we head into the midday. We could see some isolated flurries in the afternoon, but no accumulation here today other than on your cars. I woke up, saw just a dusting on my windshield here as I stepped out the door and got to work. And looking at the snow as we go into the next couple of days, we're looking at a chance of some light snow here as we get into your Tuesday. Most of the area going to see up to an inch. Even up north could see nothing. Up places like Salina, Bell Fountain, and Wapakoneta. South of I-70, that's where we're going to see about 1 to 2 inches. We could see that further to the south in the tri-state, even up to 3 inches down there in Cincinnati. So we're looking at some light snow, nothing like what we saw here as we went into the weekend last weekend. Live Doppler 2 HD. Most of the snow is getting out of here. You can see that it's off to the east near Columbus, Chillicothe as well. Here in the Miami Valley, in Greene County, seeing just a light flurry at the moment. Up in Logan County, also seeing a light flurry at this hour. Zooming out, low pressure up to the north of us, and there's that cold front. That's not going to really do too much for us here as we go into the daytime. We're not going to really see it move through. We have another low pressure, though, forming off to the west, and that's where we're going to see the chance for some snow as we go into your Tuesday. That's where we could see the 1 to 2 inches here in the southern half of the Miami Valley. And as we track this out on Future Track going through the daytime, we'll have a chance of some isolated flurries, even a snow shower as we go into the afternoon, evening hours. Again, not expecting any accumulation here going through the daytime today. Quiet overnight. We'll have lots of cloud cover, though. And temperatures here tonight going to drop down only to about 20 or so degrees. You see that snow moving through into the morning and midday tomorrow, mainly in the southern half of the Miami Valley. So that's where we're going to see some of the higher totals. That's why we have the 1 to 2 inches into the southern half of the Miami Valley. There it is again with the snow forecast up to 1 inches up north. Today, 28 degrees. We'll have lots of cloud cover, a few flurries, even some light snow that we've seen here into the morning hours. Winds at about 10 miles per hour. That sunrise was at 7:44 a.m. 21 degrees for the overnight low. Flurry early, cloudy, and cold. Could see about up to an inch in most of the Miami Valley tomorrow. The high 31 degrees with those snow showers. We'll have another chance of snow going into the weekend. Temperatures dipping, though, Wednesday, Thursday. Back into the 30s by Friday, and then up and down through the weekend.
looking at this, I'm actually kind of happy because I don't see any negatives on there. So
Yeah,
I'll take
that's
it.
something that's pretty good. I know that we did get to below zero in some parts of the Miami Valley last night. So the good news is it's going to be about 20, 25 degrees warmer today.
That's fine.
For overnight tonight.
I mean, not fine, but better than what we were dealing with. So
Yeah.
we'll accept it. Thank you so much, Cameron. Alrighty, listen to this, you guys. Sad piece of news here for you this morning. Nancy Guthrie, that's the mother of NBC's Today's anchor, Savannah Guthrie. She's been reported missing from her Arizona home, and that's according to officials. Now, Nancy Guthrie, who's 84 years old, was last seen on Saturday night around 9:30 near her home in Catalina Foothills, and that's according to the sheriff's office there. They said that on Sunday. A family member called 911 around noon on Sunday to report her missing. And Nancy Guthrie has had some physical ailments, but the family actually says she has not had any cognitive issues here, and that's really the big deal here. That's what they're trying to highlight. According to the sheriff's office, they said they're actually in the middle of a press conference right about now that actually started at 11 o'clock where they will be determining those next steps, Lee.
I know that story. That's just really, I hope, in other news, a study has found that Ohio drivers actually use their phones less than the national average. In 2023, Governor Mike DeWine signed a bill generally prohibiting people from using or holding an electronic device while driving on Ohio roads. And then according to Cambridge Mobile Telematics, Ohio drivers actually tap on their phones 7.2% less than the average U.S. driver. So that bill is working. And then in 2025, drivers across the country averaged 23.6 phone taps per 100 miles, but Ohio drivers actually only averaged 21.9.
Okay, interesting to know. I like how this data is actually collected. That's really interesting. And now moving on to one of my exciting stories. I'm so happy to be able to talk about this. You guys know how I feel about award shows and stuff. So the Grammys, one of the highlights of the big night was the halftime event, and Bad Bunny was making headlines even before he gets to the field, and here's why, because we know he's doing the Super Bowl. He won Album of the Year last night, you guys. Now, this is the first time that a Spanish language album has taken home the top prize, and other winners of the night were Billie Eilish for her song of the year, Wildflower. Kendrick Lamar and SZA won Record of the Year for Luther. Oh my gosh, I love that song. And Lamar also won for Best Rap Album, GNX. So very big night for everyone. Oh, of course, we can't forget about Trevor Noah. How exciting. All right, we're going to take a quick break now, 11:24. When we get back, we're taking a look at those React to That responses and what's coming up today in Living Dayton. Don't go away. Jumping directly into those React to That responses for this morning. So the question is, What do you think is the best invention of the 21st century? Tech invention at that. So let's listen to what you guys have to say. Listen, Andy says, unquestionably, the smartphone. I think that was easy. Okay, everyone over here is nodding. All right. And Moon says, Elon Musk Starlink. As of January 2026, there are more than 11,000 satellites all over. It has been known for reaching out for better than any transmission ever in space and Earth. That is certainly a tech invention for sure. I can't think of anything more techy than a satellite. Finally, Wilson says that probably hasn't been built yet. Okay, sure. So we're banking on the fact that the best invention hasn't happened yet. That makes sense. I can see that happening. Okay, so we are going to look right ahead to what is coming up in Living Dayton. Grace is here to break it down for us. Grace, good morning. Who is in the kitchen?
Good morning. Yeah, we have Super Scoops in the kitchen. They're going to be showing us their seasonal favorites. It's ice cream time no matter the season, 365 days a year. I'm super excited to see what they bring.
Ooh, is it ice cream time any time of the year? I don't know. I'm not one of the people who can get with the cold thing.
I am.
Girl, yeah.
But okay.
Me too, yeah.
All right, and we're also looking ahead, Grace. We're celebrating.
Yes, we're looking ahead to the Best of Warren County Awards. We're going to be talking about how you can nominate your favorite local businesses. So that one's going to be super excited.
Okay, we don't have a lot of time. Before we go, I'll ask you, Grace, what? We don't have time at all. All righty, thanks you guys for joining us. Alexis Bellamy, Lee Jeffries for 2 News Now. We will see you guys on Tuesday. Stay warm.